Hello, and I raise a glass to you. This is video 655. Cheers to you, good luck to you, best wishes to you. Um, this video is going to kind of introducing a concept that's not really that not going to come off as new or wow or whatnot. But a friend of mine, Jane, posted an article on her Facebook page, and I'm going to put a link to it in the comment section below, and it talked about how our preferences for certain body types may not really be preferences at all, and it raises some interesting questions. And there's probably a very slim chance I could even possibly come close to covering the article as best as it can itself. So this will be really kind of short. But the article talks a little bit about how, and I may get some details wrong, please forgive me. How our preferences for our sexual preferences, but our personal preferences for body types and what we see in other people, are they really our preferences, or is there something hidden underneath of that? And of course, you can say, well, I'm attracted to this type of person, or I'm attracted to this body type, and which may very well be the case. But I've noticed for myself as a post-op, and that doesn't necessarily come into, I shouldn't even say that, where I'm at in my transition, which happens to be as a post-op, I'm not really sexually attracted to anybody. And I think part of that is my own personal feeling that I'm not going to be with someone, so I don't feel the attraction. And yet there are people, there was a person who came through my line. I'm sorry if I'm yelling. There was a person who came through my line last week. I was on a cash register, and they were wearing a Boba Fett T-shirt, and it was under. They had a T-shirt on, much like I'm, welcome to Tatooine. They had a Boba Fett T-shirt, and they were wearing a shirt. And I said to them, they were wearing a kind of jack shirt over it, and I said, "Oh, is that Boba Fett, or is that the Mandalorian?" And he kind of opened up. He said, "Oh, it's Boba Fett, of course." And I said, "Oh, that's awesome." I said, as a kid, I can remember sending in 3 proofs of purchase to get my Boba Fett with the backpack that actually shot the rocket out of the back. If you remember that or not, but I was one of the kids. I was so excited. And then when it came, the backpack didn't shoot the rocket, because by that point some kid had apparently shot himself in the eye or something with a piece of plastic. I think it was from a Battlestar Galactica Cylon Raider ship. They had the 2 little rockets, the wings popped out, and some kid apparently shot themselves in the eye, and so then the toy industry, we can't do toys like that anymore. So my Boba Fett, darn it, didn't shoot the rocket, but I did my proofs of purchase. I should have gotten it. Anyway, but I had said to him about, how excited I was to get the Boba Fett. And we had a Boba Fett just moment between the two of us. And I was like, after it happened and he walked away and I walked away, I was like, damn, that could have been my ideal mate. That could have been, and I wish I didn't pay attention to whether they had a wedding ring or not. But wouldn't it be nice if we had some sort of way of identifying to someone else that we were actively seeking a mate or someone else? I mean, other than the wedding ring thing, I don't like rings anyway, or jewelry. I only wear this Fitbit because it tells me what time it is. I'm not a jewelry person, as you can tell, whatnot. But what like in Japan or in Germany, in Bavaria, Germany, if a woman wears her apron with the bow uh, on the right side, it means something, versus on the left side. I believe if she wears it on the right side, it means she's looking for a mate. She's wearing it on the other side, it means she's married. She wears it in the back, the bow, it means she's a widow. In the front is too young, not, don't mess with me. Wouldn't it be kind of cool to have some kind of like, I don't know, something to say, hey, I'm looking for somebody, I'm available, just to the people you meet every day in your common as you go about your business, I don't know. Maybe I should get a shirt made or something, Ask me, I'm single. Single woman seeking single man, are you the one? But I might do that. Why the hell not, right? What have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? But back to the idea of this video. Um, if I can get back on track. Back to this video, our preferences, our sexual preferences, or that first surface thought when you meet with someone, how much of that is really our preference and how much of it is a conditioned response based by society. When you think about, I don't know why I'm looking, I thought this was the TV remote here. TV shows and everything that we watch, the things that we do and everything, movies and television, our mass media projects these images of what is right or beautiful or correct body images. And of course, on television, I would almost bet on it that unless you're watching the news, you're not going to get a very accurate picture of what people look like. If you're watching a television show, the main characters are probably going to be beautiful, skinny, a certain body size and shape. That's unless the show is specifically tailored or a reality show, which we know reality shows are fake. But that body type, it's a certain image or an ideal that has been projected into us. And this article mentions a study that was done where people were subjected to images of all different kinds of body shapes and types, and then asked after that to rate like and dislike for various body types, compared to another group of people who were shown pictures of skinny people and thin people for 20 minutes, and then asked the same questions. And the results of it, the study, was that the people who were exposed to the diverse spectrum of body types were more receptive to larger, fatter, bigger body types than the other people who were exposed to just the skinny ones. They thought that the fat people were abnormalities. It wasn't normal. It wasn't acceptable. And so again, the idea of what we're attracted to, and she in the article uses another example about, what if you were Skyping someone or you were having a personal with someone and you talked for a couple weeks and you really were involved and you went to meet this person for the first time, and you're at a coffee shop with a group of friends, and here comes this person, you're going to meet them, and they walk in with a cane or with a hump, or they're missing a leg or a walker. And do you watch that person, or do you look to your friends, your compatriots, for their reaction? And her idea was somewhat of the idea of we base our preferences on our desire to belong to a group, which is inherent in our system, because after generations and generations of needing to belong to a group of people for survival, we need that common acceptance. So we, for safety and security in groups. And that may or may not be the case now. I mean, if you're a rugged individualist, you might say, fuck you to groups. But again, it was just the idea of what is the most important to us. We want our friends somewhat to accept this person, and we may not, we might be attracted to a person's personality and mind, but then the body type just totally, turns them off. And I've had some experiences with that. This is standing in for my smartphone. I try to read, like if I do Yahoo Personals, or not Yahoo Personals. I did do Yahoo Personals, Facebook dating. I try to read the description and then look at the picture. And on average, there's not much of a description. People aren't into writing about themselves or sharing about themselves. It's just that picture. And how many, I know I'm guilty of just passing based on a picture, based on appearance. And I do try to read into a person's personality. But again, it interested me when I read the article. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been doing it. I've been doing the same thing. I've been judging someone by their appearance. I wouldn't necessarily say for acceptance from my peers because, as you can see, I'm alone. I don't have any peers. Very few peers. The cat, even Harry's asleep. But again, read the article. It just kind of it's still a vibe in me because I'm kind of convinced that I won't meet anyone because I'm an old trans woman. Um, Older woman kind of narrows the dating spectrum, the pool of fish in the sea kind of narrows that to a smaller pool, and then trans woman, even more, and then overweight and obese, it's got to be somebody, even though they say there's a person for everyone and there's many fish in the sea, whole bunch of other cliche bullshit you hear from day one. But like I said, I found the article kind of interesting in that it exposed me to my own prejudices, and I think the more people that are aware of it, and that was something in the article, she says something about, well, what can I do about it now? How do I combat this stereotyping? And it said something about, well, include in your Facebook pictures of trans women or pictures of different body sizes and shapes. Don't expand if you widen your scope, for lack of a better word, and you project more of a variety, then that as a society we're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we can only hope that TV, our media, kind of catches on. um, and I don't know, it's kind of interesting to me. um, when I think about things that I've always kind of poo-pooed, like people get excited about the Oscars or the Emmys or the red carpet, da da da, and I've always just been like, well, that's so shallow and icky. And now I kind of it I don't know, validates my point of view a little bit, but also shows where I have some work to do in my own personality and my own view of things. But also, I like the idea of as time goes on and as people become more cognizant and as our society changes, um, just the spectrum of body type and size has always been there. But now, perhaps as time goes on, the acceptance of that and the embracing of that will be more tolerated and also more permeated in society. You know, again, if someone, if like myself, has a knee-jerk reaction, and some 10 years from now, maybe they won't have a knee-jerk reaction, and they might actually be interested in me, much like the Boba Fett guy. Um, you know, it could have been a possible connection right there. Could have been a possible connection. And I admittedly, I get kind of closed mouthed. You wouldn't imagine that, and shy around people I don't know, and especially when I'm on the job. I'm not there to flirt with somebody. Um, but I don't know. It gives me hope. Gives me hope. Now, where it would happen, golly, would almost have to be at a beer hall or a beer garden. Maybe I'll get up and dance the polka by myself, and someone will come up and join me. And again, imagine all the women in the world. How many women like to dance the polka? How many of them are single? How many of them, da 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 da. How many of them like Star Wars? Uh, how many of like gaming and whatnot, it gets narrow and narrow. Eventually, through attrition, right? We can hope to meet somebody, and maybe I'm putting too much. Putting too much into meeting someone and the significance of that. Um, you know, but there's a lot of I don't know. I'm a human being. I need the human touch. Need the human touch. I need to belong to a group, as the article says. But I need that human. I need that human interaction. Harry, as much as I love Harry, Harry only goes so far. So I need a person in my life, and maybe it'll happen when it was meant to happen. Again, back to the same bullshit. You know, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. Que sera, sera. The future is not ours to see. Blah 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 blah. Um, but there are definitely, obviously, there's some economic. Two people can almost live as cheaply as one. There's some economic things, and I can say there's definitely some jealousy. I definitely have some jealousy against. I don't know if that's really the right. I have some jealousy for kind of lesbian couples who get together because trans women, you have that. You're more likely to a girl and a girl are more likely to hook up, and I'm just not. At least prior to this article, my sexual preference was not towards another woman. So, but it's maybe not towards a man either. Crazy. But maybe I'm not alone. Maybe you feel that way too. Feel free to post in the comments what you think. Definitely read the article if you can. I'd be curious for your take on it. And I definitely good luck to us in the future. Those of us who are seeking human companionship and love, as John Lovitz, his character from Saturday Night Live, is like, I just want to be loved. Is that so wrong? But all right. Well, till next time, I've kind of blabbered on. Good luck to you in all that you do. Definitely good luck in being in your transition, finding out who you want to be, your authentic self. I keep having flashbacks. A week ago is when I had my, electrolysis, so painful. And it is, but I haven't shaved. Believe it or not, I haven't shaved. You don't see beard, do you? Now, on this side, there is beard, but you probably can't see it either, but I can feel it. So, something must be happening. It's the pain is, and it wasn't really so much the pain from the electrolysis, although the electrolysis was definitely a stimulant into my own pain, that the pain was talking about my family. And I think that's something we all go to. And I almost wish there was a booklet. Maybe I should write it. A booklet for new trans women. And I guess that's the fear of transitioning, is that we'll lose our friends and our family, and we make other friends. Family not so much. But it's like I told the electrolysis lady, my hands are open. I treat my father with respect. I treat my sister with respect. I send cards on birthdays. I send cards on holidays. I always have my hands open, ready, if they ever want to be a part of my life. My hands are not closed. They're not clenched in fists. I'm not angry. Upset, yes, obviously, you see me cry. But my hands are open, okay? Like Jesus. My hands are open. They say that Mahatma Gandhi, when he got shot and died, his last gesture was towards his assassin with his hands out saying, I forgive you. And if anything, that's how I want this to go down. If I happen to die, have a heart attack, have a blood clot, I used to say a piece of Skylab. There's a piece of Skylab up there. Okay, a piece of Skylab. Probably now you'd say the International Space Station. But my age, there's a piece of Skylab up there that's going to come down one day and hit me in the head and kill me. And if that ever happens, I want to have my hands out as a peaceful gesture towards my family and say I forgive you, and I hope that we can be friends. That's how I want to be remembered. And it took a while to get there. It took a while to get there to forgive. So anyway, enough of that self-aggrandizement. Till next time, good luck to you. Hopefully, read the article. Tell me what you think. I think it's pretty cool. And also, kind of the idea too of I think what the article started to lean towards was people who, and it doesn't matter trans, non-trans, but I've seen trans women do this. Exercise the shit out of their bodies so they fit the stereotypical feminine form and lose so much weight. Oh, you look so good. You look so good. You look so good. And but we'll just jump back to cis people. Exercise, lose so much weight. You look really good. You look really good, and be involved in a relationship. But then once that body changes and goes back to its equilibrium, then the other person's no longer attracted to them anymore. So who's lying to who there? Who's in love with the authentic self and who's lying to who? But anyway, that's probably a whole other can of worms. So until next time, good luck to you in your journey and in your pursuit in your authentic self. And by all means, I encourage everyone to discover for themselves what that authentic person is. All right. Till next time, good luck to you.